Good evening, guys. It's Friday. It's 10 p.m. It's the takeaway, and today we talk James Garner. Yeah. It's Friday. It's the takeaway, guys. You know how we do. We go a little bit left field or right field, however you want to call it, on a Friday. But today, as always, talk. My left-hand man.
Yeah, man.
How you doing? Big man?
I'm all good, bro. All good.
Good. Today, we're talking James Garner. Now, I can't say that I've seen a lot of James Garner. I've just heard a lot about Garner. But somebody who has seen a little bit of James Garner. So you guys in the comments, if you ask here, and you've got any questions for Dore on tour, Forest fan, we've got him on to let us know if James Garner can fit into this United.
Overdue.
Blame Solo. I blame Solo.
Actually, let's just you know how it rolls on here, folks. We like to play a little game called Guess the Player. So I'm going to now show you. I'll show you the player now, and I'll give you a little bit of time to mull it over and confuse you whilst we then go and talk football. Then we'll show it again in the middle, and then we'll show it at the end, and we'll see who can get it. And so here you go, folks, for a few seconds only. Get your eyes on that. Bam. There you go. Right, I'll ask Mr. Dore on tour. Have you any idea who it is, Mr. Dore?
I've not got a foggiest clue. So I don't even know where you're going to start with this one.
Okay.
You're listening to me. If your viewers know, guess who it is? I give them £100 the first 5 minutes.
I think it's going to be a really difficult one. This because I know there's going to be some names popping up. No, I know there's going to be some names. Big up, Pat. There's going to be some names popping up in this chat now that are going to, and I'm like, no. It ain't that, Pat Lawless, but big up for joining anyway. Okay. But there you go. That's it. You've had a quick look. So let's get down to business, Mr. B.
Dore, obviously, we as United fans have been moaning that we haven't got any central midfielders. And the one that we did think we have, we're now watching him play week in, week out in the Championship. Championship is a man's league. You play 2.5 times, 2.5 times. You play 3 times a week. Week in, week out. You've got FA Cup games to the early rounds to play in. I want you, Dore, to tell me and tell us about James Garner.
Where should we start? As you know, last season, I think it was the January window. He was at Watford, wasn't he? He didn't play well there.
Yeah.
Then he come to Forest, and I'll be honest with you, like I've thought to myself, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Like Forest fans, like all of you, like who is this guy coming from a club that is not playing, and then he's come to a club that was shocking as well. It wasn't great, and then we thought, we want a player that's not getting game time. So, fast forward, the player, James Garner, was a player of the season for us last season.
Yeah.
And we was a poor side, and the first game that I've seen him was against Wickham. And I thought to myself, wow, this player's got some techniques on him. So I'm thinking to myself, we've got a gem here. So all last season he was fantastic for us. Then at the start of the season we wanted him again, but I think because those other clubs wanted him as well, European clubs wanted him as well, so it was hard to get him early. And then I remember we got him, was it 4 games in, and then it was under Chris Hughton, and he didn't start as well as we thought he'd have. And then Chris Hughton got sacked. Then we got Steve Cooper come in, and I'll say the first month, he wasn't the player that we had from last season because he's struggling to fit in to. Because let's be real, like he wasn't on the same form that he had from last season, end of last season. And then there was a game that stood out for us, and then we thought that's the real James Garner we know. It was Bristol City away, and since then he's been a player that's been fantastic for us. He's been scoring goals, making assists, and he's a player that's. I'm not going to say because all Forest players have been great, but James Garner, you can tell he's a Man U player because of what he can do.
I think obviously great credit needs to go to Nottingham Forest and to Steve Cooper in terms of how you've helped the development of James Garner. Now, I just want to ask you, what's the formations, or do you stick to a formation at Forest, or do you change it up?
We change it up because with James Garner, like I said, at the start, the formation we played was 4-3-2-1, and they were playing that 2 alongside Yates. But at the same time, he can play as a number 10.
Yeah,
and that's where he's more. I think when he plays that as a number 10, that's where he's more effective.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when he plays in that role, that holding role, alongside Yates, he can play good there. So he's versatile. So I think that's that's the good thing about it, because if you stick him to one position, then he's going to be so predictable.
Yeah.
So with him, it's good. Like he's versatile.
Yeah, because some people would sort of define him as a sort of classic, defensive midfielder, but I don't see him as that. I agree with you, what you're saying. If you give him different roles, different positions, then he'll be able to, he can switch his game up to accommodate that. And given, for me, I would say, and maybe everybody else may agree, everybody talks about the Premier League being this, that, and the other, but the Championship is a hard league. It is a tough league, not only to stay in, but to try and get promoted to the Premier League from the Championship is a huge task. You look at some of the clubs that have struggled massively. Like one, for example, we know Leeds United. It took them. How long did it take Leeds United? 16 years, wasn't it? I think. About 16 years. Yeah. And like Nottingham Forest, Leeds are I wouldn't want to say which is the bigger club because I don't know. Dore, I'll probably say it's Forest in terms of what you've done, your history, with the European Cups, etc. But again, that's the example. There's 16 years to try and get back into the Premier League. So I think, given where you are now as a club, in the position that you're in, as we discussed earlier before the start of the stream, then it's quite clear to me that this young player has, not just him, but also the whole team, your backroom staff, the club, the manager, and everything else are doing a great job. But he has been integral. Would you agree that to your position that you're in right now?
Yeah, but like I said, as mentioned, when Steve could come in, like James Garner, he didn't start great, but it was slowly getting to, as far as fans knew him from last season.
Yeah,
but he's playing better now than last season. Because last season we was in a poor team. We were a poor team, and he was a player that stood out for us. And now he's in the team. That he's around players that's playing great, and that's important for these lone players. They've got to be around a team. Let's be real. If you want to be in that Man U team, you've got to be around good players. So James Garner, like I said, every time he touches the ball, there's always something's going to happen, and that's what you're going to give, because as a Forest fan, I remember there was a time I think he wasn't great, and I used to be saying, I think it was around November and early December.
Hmm.
Forest fans wanted him taken back.
Okay.
Do you think it's got a lot to do with Cooper, your manager, as well, having faith in obviously seeing something in him and playing him through maybe he's bad? You know, obviously you said when he came in early doors, the first 4 games, he wasn't great. Do you think that could have been down to a lack of match fitness, as in obviously you do get fit, but game time fitness, and now he's in there? Do you think it's because he's got the belief of the manager that he's able to excel?
100%. You've got to give Steve Cooper his credit, because since he's come in, like I said, Steve Cooper's got a record and a reputation of getting the best out of youngsters. And then when I said James Garner wasn't great for us, and I mentioned, like I said, November, December, there's talks in going back to Man U, because he started really slow. But then, I don't know, it was a bit with him playing as a deep role, defensive midfielder, and he started slowly getting that player. And I think, like I say, you've got to give credit to Steve Cooper, because he's got a reputation of giving these youngsters, and every time he touches the ball, we do something good. And I put my hands up. I was one of the first players thinking to myself, I think he's not doing it. He's not doing it at Forest. And there was linked to him going to, I'm not going to mention that name, our rivals. We've got relegated to League One, you know. It's been a revolution for the club, and he's getting better and better. And
would he be missed if he wasn't? Obviously, you lot are in a really good position in the league. If you don't get the promotion that obviously you as a club desire, obviously he's coming back to Old Trafford. Let's not get it twisted. Just by what you're saying, and the fact that our midfield under Ten Hag will maybe be rotating, and you have to be able to do certain things in certain positions. He sound like he'd be an ideal guy for us. But do you feel that he can be replaced in your squad moving forward, or do you think that you'd have to buy another midfielder?
The problem is, like I said, I don't know, the way he plays, like I said, he looks up for passing the ball. And Forest, we've missed that. And it's going to be hard to replace him. Let's be real. It's going to be hard. Because, like I said, he plays for Man U. And we've got a manager that, like I said, has got a reputation of bringing in decent young players. We've got a lot of young players that's playing well for Nottingham Forest. I can mention Spence. I can mention Brendan Johnson, who scored 16 goals for Forest. And it's going to be hard to replace that kind of player. But James Garner, he plays for Man U, and it'll be massive. Like, it's going to be a massive ask. If we didn't go up, he definitely won't come back to us. But as far as time, he's a different kind of player, and it's good to see as a Forest fan. And people know the first 6-7 games of the season we were awful. We were shocking. And I know how you Man U fans feel. We were shocking. If people saw my review shows, my previous shows, I was the depressed football fan. But now Steve could come in like we mentioned James Garner.
Easy on Ten Hag. Easy on Ten Hag. You look at that smile on your face. Look at that smile on your face.
Listen, I won't put him in the brackets. Ten Hag. He's better than Ten Hag. Joking. But yeah, you know what it is. It's been a revolution for us, and like I said, he brought out the best out of, especially I said James Garner. And
you know, I just want to say, listen, go on.
Before we rush it on for 15 minutes, if you guys in the talk chat have got any questions, anything that you want to ask Dore, be free to do talk. Could you get that beautiful picture up again, please, just to remind the viewers. We've got a couple of guesses in here. If you could just go through them, just put them
Good
up
luck.
and let them know whether it's yes or no. I've
Let's have a
started a
look.
few in it.
Let's have a look. Oh, so I can see. Let's have a look. Let me just have a quick gander. So it's not. No, it's not. It's not Pallister. It's not McGrath, and it ain't Louis SHAH. So, and it's not Chucky either. It's not Lee Sharp, and it's not Mark Hughes. So keep guessing. Your head's gonna be hurting when you try and guess this one. Let me tell you.
I don't know how. I don't know how they're gonna guess this.
Talk. Can I just ask? Obviously,
Yeah.
you know my eyes are bad, so I'm actually got this on blow up on my laptop. But are we actually going to get a clue to this at all?
Okay, I'll give you one. I'll give you a clue now. But listen, I'm going to be stingy this week because I'm feeling in a stingy mood. Right? Okay, I'm going to tell you when he was born. Right? His date of birth. 13. No. I'm not going to give you that bit. I'm just going to tell you when he was born. 1961. He was born. That's your first clue. That's the only clue you're going to get right now. So there's that. The end of that. I want to get back to what I was just going to say about James Garner going to a club like Nottingham Forest. Now, for us as Man United fans, that's a great club to go to for one of our youngsters because, like us, like Man United, Forest have had great success, not just in league terms, but also in Europe. Two European Cups. Man United have only got 3. We've only got 1 more than Forest, right? So in terms of the philosophy and the psychology and the mentality of a young player going to a club with that kind of history and the expectation of the fans, the desire of the fans and what the club want to do, I think that's, for me, absolutely sensational move. And like I say, what Steve Cooper has done with him at the club, what I want to ask Dore is straight off the bat, is very sort of to the point. Do you believe James Garner's ready to step in to the Man United midfield? No. Okay, that's an interesting.
Because the reason I'm saying that, I say it's been fantastic for us. The Championship to the Premiership is a massive, massive jump. Because I'll give you an example with Fulham. They've took the mick out of this league. They've got some good youngsters. Yeah. But with James Garner, he's around the club, around one of the best managers in the Championship, one of the best young managers in the Championship. And with James Garner, is he ready for the first team? I don't think he is. Maybe, like I say, if Forest doesn't get promoted, maybe he goes on loan to another Premiership lower club or a foreign club, because I don't think he's ready. Because let's be real, you've got Man. I know Man's midfield. They've got some good players. Listen, I'm being real. The Championship, the Premiership it's a right.
Different animal. I get it.
Yeah, it's a different animal. And you mentioned, I know, how many players you've been on loan and now are in the first team of Man U? When like, it hasn't happened for a long time, has it? Not for a long time. They always play well on loan, and then they come to, like, I think the Man U player.
Dean Henderson, goalkeeper, was at Sheffield United.
Yeah, 2 fantastic seasons at Sheffield United. Now, where is he? Nowhere to be seen. Yeah. Nowhere to be seen. So, if you're looking like if Garner's ready for Man U, I don't think he is. But as you know, Man U, they're not doing great, and it's a massive step. But you brought in a manager like from Ajax, and he's got a reputation of bringing youngsters in.
But now, let me just ask you this from this angle, Dore, is if, as I've been saying for ages and ages over the past sort of 18 months, about Man United need to change the way they approach the new managerial position. In terms of, if it was someone like, I'm going back like last season now, when Graham Potter was the gossip column, with loads of people talking about Graham Potter, etc. And I said, if Man United go for a new manager, the way they appoint the new manager, it's got to be with no pressure. They can't be demanding this, you can't be demanding that. We've got to finish here, we've got to finish there. I had some people like going, no, you can't do that, it's this and it's that and the other. And then, about 2 weeks ago now, Chocky, Brian McClare, was on the paddock saying the exact same thing. So, in my opinion, I believe this is what's going on here. If the remit for Ten Hag is this season specifically, look, listen, just come in. We know what you can do with the youth players, etc., etc. We're going to give you the time. There's no pressure in this first season, especially. Keep us in the league, which is a given, surely, and work with these youngsters. From that point of view, without that kind of pressure, do you still think James Garner's not ready?
No. I've got to be real, because
that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here. But like I said, the Championship is a different level to the Premiership. It's a big level.
But when would you say? Because you've got to get. For me, like I say, because of the competitiveness of the Championship, the physicality, and the amount of games, etc. James Garner right now for me is like he's so hot and revved up and ready to go. It's like the toy has been wound up.
100%. Do you know what I mean? I get that, but you need that Premiership experience, because let's be real, right? And I saw some comments about Mason Mount for Chelsea, Tomori for Chelsea as well.
Yeah,
you Garner could play. Let me say you could play one good game, Man U, and then right. Look, I can mention another Man U player. Tom Cavalier. You went on loan. Cavalier.
Oh, Cavalier.
One good season for Man U. Then what happened to him afterwards?
Gibson. Remember Darren Gibson?
Dan Gibson. There's loads of academy players at Man U. I'm not talking about the 90s players. You can know who they are. But we're in the new generation now of all this, social media, people can be affected, blah, blah. James Garner, me personally, he'll need another experience, best to a top, not I would say a top Premier League team, Premier League that's a lower Premier League team.
Let me ask you this. Maybe, just maybe then, because as we've discussed, Nottingham Forest, games in hand, they need Bournemouth to drop some points and for Forest to win the remaining games in order to get promotion automatic. Now, if that happens, and you do get promoted into the Premier League, then one season in the Premier League for James Garner at Forest would be easier than starting at Man United in the Premier League.
Why not?
Oh, I see. Oh, I see where this is going now, Dore. I see it now.
Why not, though? Why not? Because look at Pretty Henson. Henson went up with Sheffield United, stayed there, did well, but he can't get in the team. If Forest don't get in Premier League, he's definitely going to go to a Premier League side. He'll go to someone like about Leeds United, because I know Leeds United were mentioned about him. So if we do go up, why not? We've got a manager that knows how to get the best out of him. Because I don't know if any Man U fans have been watching. Look at the youngsters we've got in our team. We've got Garner, we've got Jed Spence. Everyone's after Jed Spence. Brendan Johnson, Ryan Yates, Joe Worrell, all good young players. Who's that? Steve Cooper. So why not? If we go up,
I mean, for me, you know what I would say? I would say maybe this may be Erik Ten Hag's point of view. Is, you know what? Because he will be looking and get information about what's been going on at Forest with James Garner, and he may well come to the same conclusion as we've just come to in a roundabout way, which is, okay, hold on a minute. If you do go up, then let's let him stay for another season in the Premier League with Forest, see what he can do, absorb all that experience from the Premier League, and then if, for example, for whatever reason, Forest don't make it and don't stay up, or even if you do, then pull him out, and then go, right, now's your chance.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, we got a super chat from Rebel.
Yo.
And he's saying, is Ralph mine?
Milne.
Yes, he is. Ralph, who the, oh, Sherbet, that's who. Ralph, oh God, my eyes are so bad. Sorry.
Ralph Milne. I'll show it again,
Sorry.
Folks.
Right. Okay.
Does anybody agree?
There's a few names on here, Talk.
Let's have a look.
We get them up and see what we can do with this, because I said I'm stumped.
No, it's not Gary Birtles or Lee Martin or Bruce or Brian McClare. We've already said that. No, ain't none of them. Stop Mark Hughes. No. But does anybody agree with Rebel here that it's Ralph Milne? Give us a yay or a nay in the chat. Let us know.
I've saw the right answer. I've saw the right answer though.
I know you have. Don't saw the right answer. The right answer is in there, but I'm not going to tell you which it is right now. The right answer's in there, but I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing as it stands right now.
Guys, if you are in the chat, I know it's late on a Friday. I know there's so much other things you could have been doing. If you're new, subscribe. If you haven't and you've been here before, you know what to do. Flick the button. Just hit that like.
Hit the like button, people. Hit the likes.
Yes, thank you very much. Sorry, Talk, to cut you off.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, I just want to carry on that kind of hypothesis of should Forest get up into the Premier League and the James Garner connection. I just think, for me, I think if Ten Hag decides he wants to pull him out of there at the end of the season, and he's got plans for him in our team, then you know what? I'm going to back him. I'm going to back him because I know it would be a huge risk, because as we know, you'll agree, Dore, I'm sure as well, taking a promising player from what's been a successful season for a big club like Forest, dragging him out and going, right, let's start you now in the Premier League for Man United. You could just knock everything that's been taught to him and all that confidence building and everything else. You can knock it out of him within a couple of games if it doesn't go well for him. You know, that's the danger. And this, for me, is going to take some serious good judgment from Erik Ten Hag and whichever his backroom staff is, because I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, Dore. There's talks of maybe Rennie Mullenstein coming back to the club, or even Steve McLaren in some kind of capacity, because, like we've said, we did say it on a stream not so long ago, that, you know what, he is going to need some help, Erik Ten Hag, because he doesn't know the Premier League. You know, the English language and everything else. I don't know how good he is at the English language and everything else, but he's going to need to have some help in that direction. So for me, whether it be Rennie Mullenstein or Steve McLaren, I ain't too fussed, because both of them bring great value to what is about to be put into place at Old Trafford. I don't know if you agree with that.
You don't give a toss about United, do you?
No, I'm just asking the question, but he's here to talk about, you know.
Listen, mine's in a mess. That's all. What can I say? What can I say? Like, I've said before the show, Man U's mess now. Forest was in that mess at the start of the season. So,
can I ask you? Is there any players? Well, obviously, I've got a message from Box here about if Forest come up. Do you think that, obviously, he's listed some players: Williams, Mengi, Fish, Ahmad, Savage, and Iqbal. These are the youths that we are currently talking about. Do you think that there could be a club connection in regards to maybe, obviously, Cooper seems to be playing a style that is pleasing on the eye as well as effective, do you think that there could be a link with the two teams? Because you lot have handled Garner really, really well.
I know. There's two players that I've noticed. There's Len. He's on loan at Bournemouth, and is it Meji? He was at Derby last season.
Yeah,
he was a centre back, and like I said, with Steve Cooper, like he knows how to deal with youngsters, because I don't know if no one knows, he won the World Cup with the England under 17s. I think did Garner play for them? I think Garner was in the squad as well, and he knows that. And I think that's what his Forest fans missed it, because, like I said, when we bring youngsters in, we don't know how to deal with them properly. That's the problem. And now we've got manager, and there's so many players at Forest where we're playing poor. And as you mentioned, if James Garner, if Man U don't get promoted, if Forest get promoted, and if James Garner goes back, we'll get someone replacement, because Man U, when your manager comes in, he could say, "Oh, send him to Forest," because they know how to deal with him properly. And that's what Forest fans like. And thinking, we like I said, if we didn't go up, there's going to be so many players, at least 8 or 9 players that be gone. But I'm confident we can replace them. But it's not going to be easy, because the Championship is brutal, and it's like I said, it's been 23 years now. So
I was just going to say that, though. It's been a long time. Like I was talking before earlier, Leeds 16 years, and now, like you say, let's say 23 years.
Yeah.
So 23 years without Nottingham Forest, it's quite remarkable, to be fair. I mean, I know you've suffered some terrible managers, and some, in terms of the ownership, mismanagement.
Don't talk about ownership. It was we had Fawaz as a owner, and he ran the club poor. Shocking. And I'm not going to mention that. Like I said, that other team from down the road, because we know everyone knows what's happening then. And even one of your legends is manager for that club. But yeah, it's just we was run really, really, really poor. And but we've got a good owner now, Mr. Marinakis.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems that the club, your club, is now very settled, very stable.
It's stable. But we want to get to the Premier League. That's all. This is why he's here.
Was that something that you expected to have been happening this season, or did you expect it to take a little bit longer?
Listen to me. If Forest fans said to you, like myself, we wanted after the start we made, do you think we'll be in the playoffs? No. I would have been happy to be mid-table after the start we made. So if you hear any Forest fans saying we deserve to go up, they're actually talking BS. Because we're overachieving.
I was just going to say that.
Overachieving.
Okay.
Big time.
Okay. But that's not such a bad thing. I mean, you talk about overachieving, but that's, like that's going to take a lot of pain out of the process. If, for example, even if you don't get up this season into the Premier League, it's going to take a lot of the pain out, I believe, from my point of view, for next season's journey to get back into the Premier League. And like you say, yeah, you may struggle to keep some players, but again, I'm not saying James Garner's the be-all and end-all of Nottingham Forest's hopes of promotion here or anything, but I suppose to keep stability and to keep some kind of continuity, you would prefer it if he did stay either way, whether you do get promoted or you don't. So you would like him to stay.
It would be good to stay. Don't get me wrong, it'd be good to stay, but it's not the end of the world if he goes back to Man U.
Of course not. No.
It's not. And like I said, if he goes, like I said, if your new manager keeps him, after what he did for Forest, then that's good for us, because at least we've made a player. Yeah, we've nurtured the player in the right way. And that's credit to Steve Cooper. The credit needs to go to Steve Cooper, because no disrespect to Chris Hughton, didn't use him right. Didn't use him right at all. And if Garner does get a chance in Man U's team next season, then good for him. But I just don't think he's ready. But time will tell. Time will tell.
I hear that.
This manager, he likes his young players, and why not?
I think for me, I think it's from, like I said earlier, I think for me, I think it's worth a risk in some of these players. There's another player also we've got out on loan at the moment called Will Fish. Now, not a lot of people know about who he is. Don't know if you know who he is, though. Will Fish, he plays over at Stockport County at the moment.
No, I don't know who he is.
But he's an absolute, he's a mustard defender. Absolutely mustard. He really is. He really is top draw. And I say, for me, why would you, if you're going to go in with the agreement of youth, which has already been mentioned by Murto at the club, we know what Ten Hag's about. It's like, okay, well, listen, you do it now right at the start. Like I said the other night on the watch along about throwing young Medjugorje into that absolute abomination at Liverpool was the wrong move. You should have either started him or played him at half-time, not throw him in at the end when we're getting our pants pulled down and our asses slapped. That was a bad move in my opinion, right? So, again, for me, Ten Hag has an opportunity. You can go right from the start and go, listen, we're going to make mistakes. Of course we are. Let's make them now early. Don't do it later when you've got out, you bought this, you bought that, and then you try when we're having a little bit of maybe, I want to say success. I mean, success in terms of playing style, winning games, the fans being pleased when they're going home, great talking points. Don't then try and start to bring in players like Garner, like Will Fish, or like SHAH, because then it's more difficult, in my opinion. It's more difficult for them and it's more difficult for the team to adapt, especially when you're in the position of, because the pressure will start to mount as we go through the seasons. First season, no pressure, I should imagine. Second season, maybe the target of a European finish for us and get, a good run in one of the cups. Third season that's where the money's at. It's got to be a money shot in the third season. Simple as that.
I was just looking at the comments with the players and look at the players that Steve Cooper in the England under 17 squad. Look at the players there, quality players. And like I said, if James Garner can get in that Man United, time will tell.
I hear that. Talk. Can we get this picture up again? If
get
anybody has got it right,
get it up, man.
If anybody has got it right, let them know because we're on shutdown daily. So let's see what we've got on here.
So there you go, folks. Now, as we said, the correct answer is in there. Mr. Dore knows what the answer is, I think, because he spotted it. Mr. B, do you know who it is, Mr. B?
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
Mr. B knows who it is, and obviously I know who it is. But let's have a look how many people have got it right. And I think there's only one person. It's not Storming Norman Whiteside. It's not Norman Whiteside. It's not Martin O'Neill.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong then. I thought it was.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Sherbet.
It's not.
Okay.
But I'll give you. Looks like Norman Whiteside says box. No, it ain't Norman Whiteside, bro. Right, make it fair. I'm going to give you one more clue, and I'll give you a minute to get your answers in. So the other clue is he also played for Dundee United, Charlton Athletic, and Bristol City. There's your clues. So I know everybody's now in
right,
Google.
Guys. Right, guys. You have now got what, 3 minutes? While we hear where we can find Dore and his hopes and expectations for the rest of the season. And talk, if you see anybody in here, just get it up. So Dore, my guy, where can we find you?
So basically, find me on my YouTube channel, Dore on Tour. It's here, above, like there, right there. I follow Forest home and away. I do reviews, previews. I interview ex-Forest players as well. I've got a show next week live with ex-Nottingham Forest player Kevin Campbell as well. So I've got some big things happening on my channel. And like I said, my channel, I've done my channel for 5 years now. And like I said, I'm having fun. That's all it matters. I'm having fun. Having fun with my friends, and I don't take it seriously at all. And like I said, I follow Forest home and away, and just make sure everyone. Like I said, I've just reached 6.5. My target for the season, I've just reached. My target is 7K before the season finishes. And but yeah, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I move, and it is what it is.
Well, folks, let me say this: go if you can go over now and go and give Dore a sub to help him get to that target. We'd very much appreciate it from us here at the Man United Agenda. She's top guy. He's taking the time out this evening to come and join us on here to give us all this info and his.
At last, I've been waiting.
I know. Yeah, but Dore, it won't be the last. Let me say this: it won't be the last time. Whether Forest get promoted or not, it won't be the last time we have you on, bro. There's no two ways about that.
Respect.
So if you
I'm coming to Manchester United as well. I don't know if you want to.
Oh yeah.
Forest are playing Manchester United under 18s final at Old Trafford, and I'm turning up as well.
That'll be a great vlog.
I'm glad you're turning up. I really hope your Forest team doesn't turn up though. It's strictly your love from here. Talk. Is there anybody in here who's got it right before we say goodbye, bro?
It's not Dean Saunders. No, it ain't no Dean Saunders. It's not. People still thinking it's Norman Whiteside, but people, you're miles off, man. There's one person who's got it right.
Right. Well,
I'm going to show it. 1 second, Mr. B. I was going to show it again. There you go. Look, so it's Mr. Player. One person has got it right. I'm now going to reveal who the mystery player is, and I'll wait until the answers start flooding in.
This is going to be hilarious because there's going to be people who still ain't going to know who it is. Go on.
Oh, of course there is, yeah. So here we go. There you go, folks. Who's that? I just subbed Dore. You've got one sub there at least, Dore.
Respect.
Anybody else, go over and give Dore a sub just to help him get his subs up because he wants to get to that target. Take you 2 seconds. Just go and give him a sub. Dore on tour on YouTube, and very much appreciated.
Talk. I still don't know who it is. I thought it was. I'm looking. I'm convinced. I'm blown. I thought it was Norman Whiteside. Okay, well, it's not. It's not who I thought.
Another one. Okay. Sorry, another one's just subbed as well, Dore. So hopefully you'll get a nice little number of subs there to help you out. Okay, well, listen. There's one person's got it right, and I think we all. I think Mr. B. We all know who it is, and it is our very own Rebel. And that might sound suspicious. Somebody from the Man United.
I'll be honest, right? I thought he said Ralph Mine. You know, Rebel always throws. So I thought he was saying Ralph's his like Ralph, and he spelled Ralph wrong. R-A. Sorry.
Yes. Now, listen, let me ask you, Rebel, how did you get that, bro? How did you get it? Was it that clue that I gave you from his date of birth? It must have been. It must have been his date of birth, and then you've cleverly used that and Googled players. I'm just that damn good, he says. Go on, Rebel. There, blowing his own trumpet.
Listen to me. Right, no, what he did, I think he's gone on Google. He's done what he did.
Well, I think there's a bit of fixed. There you go. So we're getting accused of it being fixed now. So Rebel, the prize will roll over, Rebel. So you can't claim the prize, I'm afraid. So
what's your prize? What was the prize?
That packet of polos. It's a packet of polos.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll give him the hole in the middle. We'll give him the hole.
That's it, exactly. We'll send you the hole in the middle on special delivery. So, guys, yeah, that's all good, bro.
Guys, if you're still here, thanks for watching. As I said, I always say it's Friday. It's late. You didn't have to be here, but you were. This was us. Me, TalkMU, and Dore Tour. As again, appreciated, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me on, man. Respect, lads.
No problem,
Thanks so much.
No problem at all. This is us. This is the agenda. We've got the watch along tomorrow, midday against the Gooners. We've got a reaction show that on Monday will be
smash the Gooners. Beat Arsenal. Forest. We beat Arsenal. Why can't you lot beat Arsenal?
You obviously haven't seen us play, Dore, but you know what? That's a whole nother show, a whole nother time. But guys, thank you for watching. This is us. This is us on the agenda. Friday night takeaway. Bye.
Ciao.